B.
Oh, okay. Alan, are you the representative for your group?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you tell us what you guys came up with?
All
And if you
right.
want to if you want to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do that, or you can just like share. It's up to you.
I'll go myself because they can't remember the story.
Yeah,
So,
do it.
so one time, this dragon was planning on massacring a bunch of eagles. And so, my gosh, ridiculous. So the dragon, so the eagle runs to all of his friends and is like, "Hey, we have to destroy this dragon." And so
Why does the dragon want to kill all the eagles? Has this been established?
I do have to work on that. I'm gonna make something
I'm
up on the spot right
I'm
here.
just curious.
I'm gonna make something
Continue.
on the spot right here. So the eagles were annoying the dragons by flying all over in their airspace.
Okay, fair.
All right, the the eagle went to go get some more people. So they went to the humans, and the humans were like, "No, we're not gonna go." And so after a bit of convincing, they sent one person to go, right? But the dragon that was going to massacre all of them has enemies that are dragons. And so all those other dragons decided, hey, we're gonna join them. Okay, but the big dragon had these really weird steroids that made him really strong.
It's okay.
So the dragon killed all of the other dragons, and the one person fled, and all of the eagles except for one eagle fled. And so this eagle, and so the dragon's steroids ran out. So the eagle
Yeah.
flew into the dragon's throat, got burned a bunch of times, but still he like what's the word I was looking for again? Like he stayed in there, scratching everywhere, destroying everywhere, and ripped them apart. But they fell into a lake, a special lake called the Lake of Regeneration. If you fall into it, you get regenerated. And
Wow,
so
this is
the
a deep plot.
dragon
Oh my gosh.
regenerates. And then he burns the eagle and splits them in half. But the eagle, since also falls into the Lake of Regeneration. And you guys might be watching. How does fire go in water? The dragon went up and the eagle was up. So he fell into the lake of regeneration. So he came back up. And so the eagle ran into the dragon's stomach again, knowing that he could not defeat him as they were in the lake of regeneration. So what he did was he pulled out a dumpling from his wing and he was just like, hey, take
He
this.
just had a dumpling. Yeah, let's go.
And they became best friends ever on.
The dragon and the eagle became best friends in the end?
Yeah,
Oh, like why? Because he shared his dumpling?
yeah, shared his dumpling.
Wow, that's a twist. I didn't see that one coming. I definitely thought that. So wait, are they just like chilling in the Lake of Regeneration, like just friends? Is
Yeah, they're
that
just chilling
basically
in there.
okay? I mean, cool, I guess. Um, I mean, we can evaluate that. How did we feel? So firstly, what would be? I think the problem of that one's pretty obvious. It's that they had an eagle that, or the Eagles wanted to. Well, I guess actually. So who wanted to kill who? Was it the dragon that wanted to kill the eagles, or was it the eagles that wanted to kill the dragon?
So the dragons wanted to kill the eagles, obviously, because he was shooting fire going match.
Yeah, the eagles
The
were
eagles
bummed.
were just trying to defend.
Oh yeah, so the eagles were self-defense. Yeah, I guess we have some characters in there. Like that sacrificial eagle at the end that like was very noble and knew that they would die anyway. Probably would have gotten maybe add some lore to them in terms of like I
And
think
he
you would
kind of
need a
like,
bit.
the eagle kind of like didn't want to die, so he's just like, I'm gonna give this guy my dumpling.
Yeah, I might add a little bit of like more reasoning beyond the. Also, I would need some explanation as to where that dumpling came from, Chekhov's dumpling. But we don't have much time left, so we're gonna keep this chucking along. Let's hear from one of the other two rooms. Benjamin or yeah, Dorothy. I saw your hand
After
go
I
up.
share, can I share two more? Because I have
If we have
two
time,
more.
yes. If we have time.
Okay, so we didn't really come up with a story. We kind of just came up with the 5 key points.
Hmm.
So for the plot, it was aliens who communicate through music, and the problem is that the humans began chasing the deaf alien, and the humans were like out trying to learn how they communicated through through music, and the characters were the people and the aliens.
Okay, what was like the conflict though? Is it that they were being chased or they were being like hunted?
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like you
There's
could
no
like
solution.
see, and that is, and sometimes it's not as obvious that solution. That one's usually the hardest of the list to come up with because it does kind of and so Will, if and for those of you that have ideas, and so Eric, actually, what I'll probably tell you to do, and what I'll tell the rest of the group to do, because your homework for next week is going to be for each of you. I want you guys to actually write a short story with these 5 points in mind. It doesn't have to be too long. I'd say like at minimum like 2 to 3 paragraphs, like nothing too crazy. But
Are they
I
like,
want you. Yeah,
is it
go
like
ahead.
a different story from what?
So if you guys really want to just write out the same one you got, like I'd say if you want to, you can make a new one. I would encourage you to make a new one, but you can reuse the ones that you did in class. It's up to you. But I would encourage you to do a new one. And so what's going to happen next week? Because next week we're going to cover things like vocal tone and inflection, and like how to do certain enunciations, like character voice to express emotion. And I think the best way to practice that is going to be to have each of you present your short stories to the class. So if there's going to be things like dialogue with these characters, I will expect you to read this dialogue out loud. I know you guys are going, no, 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 but guys, this is a storytelling and retelling course. What did you think was going to happen? Did you guys think we were just like all going to read silently to each other? But don't worry. And again, it's not going to be too complicated. It's just I want you guys to come up using the 5 elements, which I will post in the Google Classroom. All I want is a 2 to 3 paragraph at minimum short story that you are then going to present to the class. We're not going to get too like we're not going to go evaluate any of the short stories or anything. It's going to be more about like how we do the presentation next week rather than the content of
What
the
if your
story
story
itself.
has no dialogue?
That's fine. It doesn't have to. That's okay. Um, not a big deal. But that is going to be your kind of little mini assignment for next week. And we're not going to get too deep into Inkheart. So I said read chapters 2 to 3, but like if you don't have those read by next week, that's fine because we're not going to talk about Inkheart too much next week. So I'd say if you can read chapters 2 to 3 to Inkheart, that's fine just to keep up. But otherwise, like you can put it off for a little bit if you need to. Okay. So I think we should be good. Who's the last group I haven't heard from? I think it's Will. So Will, why don't you? I know you're itching to share. Why don't you share your story with the group? The last little story that we haven't heard.
Okay. So, there is why stop spamming the chat? There's 3 carrot people who are genetically modified from the 3 little pigs. And then there's also the big bad rabbit, which is genetically modified from the big bad wolf, except the big bad rabbit is nuclear and is energized and is very radioactive and can breathe supersonic winds. And the conflict is that the rabbit tries to chase is gonna try to eat the carrot man, and the 3 carrot men meet in town and they split up and try to make their own shelter. And the first carrot man gets some steel from Timu and makes a building with it. The rabbit blows through and swallows the first carrot man whole. The second carrot man gets some tungsten from Amazon, very possible, and makes a giant mansion using it. However, the carrot man blows that down and but the carrot man runs to the third carrot man's house. The third carrot man gets some depleted uranium from Walmart and makes a cozy cottage with the material. And the third and second carrot man survive, and the big bad rabbit falls through the chimney and into the fireplace, and gets burned. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we had some resolution. The big bad rabbit did get some comeuppance in the end. I don't know if this was intentional, but if I'm reading into your themes here, if you notice, the size of the buildings that were being made got progressively smaller as time got on. I don't know if you did that on purpose, where it went from a building to a mansion to a cottage. So I don't know, maybe there's something about like being content with something simple. I don't know. Could be even a moral in there if you wanted to analyze it. But interesting enough. At least you got some resolution in there. And not bad considering I only gave you guys, what did we have in total? 15 minutes. So, we're gonna have a lot more tools to add to our tool belt as we go, and there's gonna be lots more creative writing exercises that I'm gonna give you guys. So you're gonna have lots of opportunities to get unique and get creative. And just for those of you that are a little bit nervous about next week, about sharing, I will start with a